Hello and welcome back to Factorio, de facto Legion. All right, let me. There we go. Yeah. Might as well build the other jack pump I was able to build. Doesn't hurt to do so. Right. We do have a small little gap that they can wander through on either side of this. So I actually might make a small little small line like so. Really skirting around the edge here. And then have it here. And I did not have enough of that. Nope, I did. I don't think I'm gonna need too many turrets over here, considering, but I'm gonna still put in a full line. Because that's basically the only place they're really gonna come from is right here. All I have to do is, like, build this over to here next. Yeah. Which means, yeah, I get to pull this out. And redo this. Yay. Is it weird that technically I kind of want things to attack my bases so that my turrets can get better? I feel like that's kind of weird. Oh wow, there's only one line off too. Okay, well, I guess we have to head back. No, I do realize that you guys are probably wondering, why do I have my hotbar laid out if I just keep on going into my inventory? I don't know. Is the answer to that question. I really don't know. There we are. Perfect. All I need now is to upgrade the little splitter down here, and also these. There we go. Right. So this is our little cube of destiny. Now there was another oil thing I could get to right here. We need pipes. Do I have the pipes necessary? Nope. Okay. Back down here, please. Need a lift. Huh. Yeah, this is actually kind of good. This is almost completely full. Which is honestly pretty good, isn't it? Okay, right. I need you to... Okay, so we still need a need for coal. Well, what do I need for the red cards? Okay. 2 plastic, green cards, copper. Okay. So you are going to be making plastic, and so are you. But I want to start making blues as quickly as possible. Meaning, uh, we do this, and this. These and this. Okay, right. So for blues, I needed... Oh, that's actually kind of easy. Alright, so you are going to end up becoming sulfur, my friend. Actually, if I'm going to be doing sulfur, I'm going to kind of want to have you be down here, and I'll have to do the pipeline of destiny for it. Nice. That's just so that I can put it back on here. Okay. Yep. There we go. And now, let us do this. There we go. And we'll want one of these here as well. Yeah, don't you just love sitting here watching me trace over things that I've already done so we can have it work ever so slightly faster? Right then. Oop. Right then. Okay. Yeah, we are going to need... Ooh, should I make my cards over here? That's going to be a long way to drag. Plastic, though. Actually, no, I was going to make my blue over here, wasn't I? Yeah. That, and it's closer, so I'll probably bring copper plates over there using this specialty line here. And then... There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna branch it off of this, actually. Considering I can. It's very easy to just go. Let's go. Boop. And now I have copper. Right. Because, yeah, I'm going to need to somehow get my research. Well, I'm going to build the research adapter. Right here. And this is where research is going to come from. That's where my blue research is going to go, right over there. There's going to be so much of a long ways to bring a bunch of plastic. Because I'm going to have to make it here so that I can make it have some form of sensible distance. Which means bringing both sulfur and plastic up there. Actually, I don't need to bring the plastic. I need to bring the cards, right? So if I go to here, yeah, I need to make the cards. So I just need to bring the sulfur up there. I don't need to bring the copper up there. Ooh. Yeah. That is actually true. I do not need to bring the cards up there. I only need to bring the sulfur. Okay, that's actually really good considering. Also, I need to bump this up to 400 capacity. Also, grab these. Grab those. Right, okay. Uh, yeah, so I do have enough. I am going to turn that one off. Just so we can get that much more into the system here. Okay. So first, we are going to need you here. Okay. We're also going to need coal down here, which is the easiest thing to bring. Coal is probably the easiest thing I can bring down here, so copper as well, because I realize now I don't actually need to bring the copper, so I'm going to use that again. There we go. Okay. And then that. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should do this. There we go. Okay. Right, copper. Need it coming from here. Right. Going to need probably a few of these for plastic. Okay, right. So we need the red cards, which easy enough to make. Actually, does that mean I need to like? Okay, this is going to be a very complicated system. And not complicated as in I know what I'm doing, but complicated as in what the hell am I doing? Okay, right. You. You. And then, hey, at least we have plastic now. I have no idea why I did that. Okay, right. Yeah, that's going to be the first thing we research after we get blue, I think. Is this. Because this is going to help us immensely in our pollution problem. Eh. But weirdly, our pollution kind of seems to be like stationary or stagnant. I'm not even sure of the term what to use. All right, we have another coal area. This is kind of unfortunate that I ended up building all my stuff on here. Right, that is not going to cut it anymore. Thank you. All right, I feel like that is not going to work out too well in my favor. Now, let me do this. Get one of these. Then do one of these. There we go. A very weird yet functioning feedback loop. I have a feeling this is not going to go well. There we go. That should feed everything thoroughly. Don't need those yet. Okay. Right. Let's see if we can get this to work. Right, so first off, we're gonna need you. Alright, this I might actually do this with. Right, you are going to have to be copper wire. Okay, right. And these fine fellows need iron plate. Which is going to actually come up from up here, actually. Huh. Right. And those are going to end up becoming the red cards. Which is finally where these get to come in. Alright, you are all green. And then red cards. Done. If the system actually works. We may have just done this right the first time. Which is impressive for me. Alright, boom, 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 boom. I need you here, you here, you here, and you here. Why am I having this go this way? Why don't I just... Okay, whatever. I'm gonna have to do this weird little awkward feedback loop right here, just so that that guy gets enough to work with. Okay, yeah, this is gonna need to go the other direction. There we go. Right, okay. Next up is this. This, 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 this. Going out to here, here, and here. I did it. Nice. Honestly, I should probably build like another one of those. Just so I have enough. There we go. Alright, that's item number 1 done. Next up will be sulfur, which means we need water, which means we'll need a offshore pump. I don't need 2 of the fucking things. I only need the 1. Of which then we will need a few of these to then do a few of those. Right then. This will all be sulfur. Of which these 2 things I'm gonna slap on the same conveyor belt so I can like express tube it all the way up to over here or up here. Because then after that I need engines, and I know I have engines making somewhere in there, but I'm just gonna have the actual system be remade. Right. Huh? Alright, and that's easily solvable by doing that. Okay, there we go. We're at full production again. Okay. Well, as full as it's gonna get, I suppose. There we go. Honestly, I think I should just move this down to here. Because honestly, I think this will be probably more productive anyways. So we need power, power. We'll need that. Change this to a red card, and then bam. Okay, right. I don't know if this will be enough, but it should be because you need a lot less than you'd think you would. Alright, we need you to go out to here. And then we need good old petroleum. Come down here. Actually, I'm going to do this. We need you, 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 and you. Could then be this, 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 and then this, this, and that. Oh. Well, that's easy to fix. Oops. Kind of forgot that it actually matters where they go. Oh, these actually produce a lot. I forgot. Kind of forgot about that. Which means I might need another one of these to go into the system. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so we got both of those now. Now all we would need is the engines being made. Which means taking our sulfur and red electronics on a walk here. Oh. Right, we want everything to come over here, right? How are we doing all that, by the way? Also, yeah, I don't know why I was so worried about this, but I probably should be at some point soon. But I'm going to take a wild guess and say that we're starting to burn through that a little bit. But as of right now, it is not a problem. I'm going to need all of the iron physically possible. Alright, so steel pipes and cogs, okay. That is very much doable. Right. Like I had planned for, this is where... Right, there we go. Going to do that just so that we aren't using that much more. Okay. Alright, you and you go here, you and you go there. You go here. You hook up there. Right. Okay, right. Well, I'm rushing on over here. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for this. This little factory of mine. Right. I am going to need a lot of those and a lot of these. And definitely a lot of these. Oh, my hand. Okay, right. Well, if I do this, all I have to do for this side. Alright, just put more into this. Actually, no. Right. Cog and cog. And we will want this to come out here. Then we go up this way. And then, actually, I'm gonna do that so I can actually... This is going to be a strained system, which is why I'm going to do this. And have that be done as soon as physically possible. And bring all of this up to here. Put this here. Yeah, we'll just make the blue down here. But first we need pipe being made and then engine. Pipe, engine, more engine. And then while we're doing this, and straining our very strained system even further. How are we doing with this? Pretty good. Alright, let's get the sulfur and stuff up there. Yep, there we go. Our first 3 full belts of stuff. Well, things and stuff. Stuff and things. Alright. I'm going to add 2 more into this system. That way we'll just get more going. There we go. And now all we need is these, right? Yeah. Yep. Hang on. No, not that way. I'm gonna move this down one. Gonna have to do this for it, but I'll be able to do this. There we go. Okay, right, yeah. This is kind of a weirdly cute system that I've made. Now, that should help us produce enough engines to do this. Now all that's left is to bring these guys further up. And further up. To then be used by these three fine fellows here. That will forever make these. Yes. And then these they go all the way up here. I'm making this a bit of a cube so that I have this entire space to work with just naturally. And I am going to have to make other science packs at some point. And this is the best way to make sure I can still do that. There we go. Do I have any of these? Yeah, I'm just going to have to slap one of these down so I can bring it over here at a reasonable pace. Yeah. Right. I have a feeling the engines will still pile up a little bit. Probably a lot more if we can get another one. Yeah, these should start cranking out research soon. There we go. There. So we got 5 engines of these things making. How much engines do we actually use? So, production we make around what? 30 roughly, and then we use instructions unclear. Uh, But these appear to be backing up a little bit. Yeah, we are starting to do research. Nice. These are the two that I don't want right now. But I'm also going to want a few more of these. I'm going to have to do this temporarily. I mean, technically I could do both sides, but right now... There we go. So I have a feeling we aren't going to be making enough. So I'm actually gonna do a bit of a weird one. That ends up coming over from this side. Right. So I am going to need a few more of those. Just so that I can be absolutely certain I have them making to begin with. Uh, yeah. Right. Why do I have this here? I have no idea. Yeah, we are slowly burning through the old engine supply, so I'm going to add another 3 of those. Yeah. Well, there we go. Okay. Alright, that should, well, basically nearly double how many engines we are producing, which means we'll be pumping out more of these, I guess. Or, well, we'll have the capacity to, I should say. I don't know why I'm future-proofing this badly, but I don't know. I guess for ease of use. Okay. I mean, I'd planned for the day to be all about oil, but life had other plans, I guess. I'm gonna need a few of these. There we go. Weirdly, that's our highest production right now. But then again, these each produce. I mean, this thing's producing enough to keep these all running mostly. Though to be fair, we're not even running all of them, so. Oh, we got our next one on the line. Here they come to save the day. Nice. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, we're certainly about to get furnaces, which I definitely like the look of. Am I able to make filtered inserters? No. No, I suppose it technically wouldn't be too difficult to do so. Alright, let's see. What are we lacking? Greens, I suppose. Right. This is mostly just so that I can add like one more to the system and get the thing that's going to help. Just a tad. Probably not by much, but it'll be by enough. Okay. Oh, 12 minutes over. Okay, well, thank you for watching and have a very. Huh? Oh, right. Wrong thing. Uh, There we go. Oh, that may not be helping. All right, let's see if I can. I should probably do this. Just so that I can have more long inserters. There we go. Okay. All right. I feel like that should be helping now. Yep. I think it's just more than we're using. Also, nice. Now we have bigger furnaces. Of which, the first thing I'm going to upgrade. Yeah, that's right. These. Because now, with what I'm about to do, I'm not going to need this running over here. So I am going to have to completely redo all of this. Yeah, okay. Right now I need steel. Okay. I mean, I have one of them, so I can plug this one in. Oh, I'm actually going to have to get rid of this one. Honestly, not all that fussed about it. Don't need that nearly as much as I do copper, so. Here you go, here, have some fuel just for existing. 1 and 2. And it produces next to no pollution compared to these guys who produce a lot of it. Which is good. But yeah, I'm going to have to. Well, actually, I don't even. This is actually weirdly easy to retrofit. At least this line. Wait, I didn't need to actually do that. I just need to do this. Which is nice. Need advanced circuits, but do. Also going to do this. Put one of these bad boys here. Just as I can. Right. Right, we may need more of these. I might need one of these to just sit here and dump into a chest. I'll do this. Just so that I have one of these things just constantly reducing, I guess. Because since I need these constantly, it's going to become the big issue, I guess you could say. Right. Good part about this. There we go. Technically, those should produce a lot more overall. Yeah. Well, they'll produce them basically the same for a little bit less overall, for more space taken up. But it does mean I won't have to rely on coal as much, and also these alone I've gotten rid of like 8 pollution per meter or something like that. And I can actually upgrade these. Is another benefit to having their existence. This is what I think I'll switch around next. No, wait. No more need for a coal belt. No more need for any of this stuff. Yep. now... There we go. Alright, finishing this up is probably the priority. This is weirdly satisfying to look at. No, it's surprisingly a lot easier to retrofit this little thing than I expected. And I'm gonna have to tear out this iron situation after I'm done with this. Though actually, technically, tearing all that out just means I have to rely on this more. Which, if that is the case, huge. But let me do this. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah. I'm basically slowing down my entire system for this. Alright, you know what? Hang on. This little system here, I am just going to run off of the coal. For a while. Just so that I can keep it out of my inventory and into this thing. Next up is going back down here. But yet even more of these red card things. Okay. Now, thanks to me having new these, I guess, I can actually do this. Put this here. And I can start mass production of everything, really. Well, everything important. Also, I am going to have to make a new stone brick area. Or furnace, I mean. Specifically for the walls, because I'm realizing now the problem. Okay, we'll also want one of those. We'll also want these. this, but we'll put this all the way over here. Oh, we're actually starting to produce a backlog. That's nice. Gotcha. Okay, right. Right, just so that we know where this one's going, I'm going to put this here. Because I'm pretty sure we only need, what, 6 lines? But, I mean, either way. 6 lines or not. I need a lot more research. What's 6 more to the line? Let's do. Well, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to like design this with a center line involved. So 1, 1, 2, 1. That should be enough for both lines, and then yeah. So actually, we fell a little bit short here. Why is that there? Anyways. There we go. Alright, but for now, I'm going to cut off these lines. We have a lot of low ammo alerts, but that's honestly kind of fine. Would rather low ammo alerts than no ammo. Right, this just tells me we do not produce enough engines for this ship. Well, actually, no, it's not that we aren't producing enough engines, it's that we're not producing enough iron. So... Well, I was gonna have to upgrade this. Preferably sooner rather than later, fortunately. Or hopefully this produced enough. It did not. Crap. Okay, right, do this so that everything just doesn't go, I guess. There, at least, yeah, I was wondering why that was the case, because we should have been at least getting a little bit. Right. The stone needing one of these is the biggest thing. Right. Right, so if we do this, we need to move it over one. I do need to get this up and running sooner rather than later. Though what's nice is that now I can do this. To get those going. I'm gonna have to take this apart too. But not by much. Actually. Because I remember now that this was completely useless and I just never got rid of it. Meaning I can move this over to here. Basically make these into the same system. I'm actually just going to get rid of these. At least for now. Because basically I'm going to have to make a new system for this. Right, I'm just going to have to wait for those to burn out, I guess. We have a pulse. We got life breathing in. Oh, yeah, another pulse. It's not much, but it is a little bit. At least these have a bit of a buffer. And those have coal naturally being fed into them, right? No. They do not, but I think I can get coal to go in there. By yet another very ridiculous tube. There, and I'll just make sure that these keep running. Which is really all I want. Yeah, I'm gonna take these and put them into iron. Into the iron system. Because if I don't... we are going to become iron starved. There we go. But yeah, I think over here I'm gonna make a bigger iron furnace setup. Because those two are now a bit lacking. And, okay, no. We're just gonna do that. Just because we need all of that iron. Alright, let me just slowly getting rid of it. That was a nice sound. Okay, I'm still recording. Jesus. Okay. This one's a long one. If you watched this far, thank you. Thank you for watching and have a very wonderful day.